And welcome to Night Owl Collage. I'm Amber, and today we are continuing construction of this experimental double journal, and we are going to bind in our signatures on both sides. So, in case you are just tuning in, this is a pull apart journal that's going to alternate signatures on either side. So we're going to have to make a special template. We'll just use one template so that it's a little simpler for our purpose. So I cut a piece of cardstock that is 2 inches, which is the width of the spine on the inside. And then I cut it the height of the signature. Okay, that's what you want, not the height of the cover, you want the height of the signature. So we're going to pretend that we have 7 signatures. I'm going to pretend that I'm just going to make this easy because I already made the template I'm going to use, but I'm going to show you how I'm making it. So you can make one yourself if you are experimenting with this type of journal. So let's pretend that we have 7 signatures. So we want to divide this into 8 sections. Okay, so we need every 1/4 of an inch another line. Okay, so we're going to use our ruler. I'm going to use a very thin micron pen to make my dots here. So if we divide this into 8 sections, there's going to be 7 dots. Okay. So I'll line this up. So every 1/4 of an inch. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now it's divided into 8 sections, and we're going to do the same thing at the bottom because we're going to connect that with our line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now we're going to connect these dots so we have a straight line to help us make our dots for punching or making holes in our signature in our covers. I'm actually really excited about this step. I can't wait to see what it looks like and if it works. Almost there. Okay, so then you're going to need 2 different colors to make these dots. I'm going to use my, let's see, I'm trying to see what you can see the best. Probably we're going to use pink and blue here. Okay, so the reason why we're using 2 colors is because if we had this double journal and we had 7 signatures, 4 are going to be on 1/2 of the journal. Okay, 4 are going to be here and 3 are going to be here. So we need to alternate these holes with the different colors so that we know which hole to use to punch in our cover. That'll make sense in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to use pink for the first one. So I'm going to come down 1/2 inch from the top and make my dot on that first line. And I'm going to do that every other one. And then I'm going to come down here at the bottom and do the same thing, 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then I've already folded this in at the center. So I'm just going to use that line. Fold this really good. So I'm going to use that to make my dots here. And you can either measure in between these dots, or you can just fold, like push those dots together so that they match up, and then fold it right there. And then you can use that to make your dots. That's what I like to do. I just like to fold them, match them up. Okay, so those would be the left side that we're going to bind. So for the right side, I'm going to use a different color. Just go in between here. So when I'm punching my holes, I know that I'm punching the right one and not confusing myself. Okay, so then you have your template. That will be your template for binding. Okay, so I have already made the template for this one that I'm doing. So I actually have 10 signatures, so I had to divide it into 11 sections, so that was a little more complicated of measurements. That's why I wanted to do this easier sample, and I just alternated pink and green on there. So I'm going to grab my signatures and we're going to get started on binding. Okay, the first thing we need to do is punch holes in our signatures. So these are all the signatures that are going on the journal that is facing this way. Okay, so these are going to be on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these lined up how I want them. Put this in the middle. Okay, so I want the bag in the middle. I'm going to center all these as best I can. And this one. Okay, so then I'm going to clip those in place. So we don't get any movement here. Okay, so we don't want these papers to move while I'm punching the holes. Okay, so if you have a punching cradle, definitely use that. But I'm just going to put it on top of this foam piece as I punch through it. So I'm gonna fold, since this is gonna be my, let's see, this is gonna be my pink dots. So I'm gonna fold here at one of the middle pink lines. Fold it so that these are on the inside and they're in the valley, okay? And then I'm going to center this in the signature. And I'm going to clip that as well. And then I'm going to use I'm going to use the same line on all my signatures. So I'm going to just hold it up like this, hold it on top of the foam, and then we're going to punch our holes at each of those dots. Punch straight down. And you might need to go back and make those holes bigger because we're going to have that needle and thread going through. So I'm just going to push through and make these holes a little bit bigger. Okay, so that is our first one. I'm going to set that to the side and do my second one. Show you one more time, and then I will speed up the process. So I'm just going to center everything on here. And then I'm going to clip those together. Okay. And then, oh, you also want to mark the head of your template so you don't get mixed up, and when you set it aside you get it upside down. So I know I started with my pink, so I know that's the head of the template. Okay, so I'm gonna center my template over here, clip it on. I'm gonna punch our holes. Now I'm thinking that I should have done a better job of checking where these signature covers landed, because where the holes are being punched is kind of like, see, right at the edge. So I probably should have came down like a 3/4 of an inch, but it'll be fine. It's still going to be bound in. It's just not exactly as neat as I would like it to be. So I'll show you what I mean. So when I punch this hole, you see how it's just like right at the edge of that? It's like too close to the edge. So it might end up tearing. Right there, that is way close to the edge. So I probably should have come in another 1/4 of an inch, but it'll still work. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of these and just speed up the process here. All right, now we need to punch the holes in our covers. So we're going to start with this one on the left, which is going to be these vertical signatures and the pink dots, okay? So we're going to, I'm going to punch from the outside. Make sure that's the head is at the top. And we're going to center it over our spine. And we're going to clip it in place. Actually, I'm going to do it on the inside because I want the pink to start this. I want the pink to be the beginning signature. Okay, so I'm going to hold that in place. Okay, so then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna punch all the pink holes, skipping the greens. Okay, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to make these holes a little bit bigger. So that my needle and thread go through easily. Okay, so that part is done. And we're going to take this one. Now this one we have to be careful because the orientation is different. Okay, so I put the head, okay, it's going to be this way. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to, yeah, I'm going to put this one on the outside now so that the green is second. Okay, so because if I put it on the inside, then this top one, the green, would be first. So I need to put it on the outside now, on this one, so that when I punch this, the green dot comes second because these are going to alternate. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and punch the green dots. We don't need our template anymore. And I'm just going to make these holes slightly bigger. All right, now it's time to bind our signatures in. And we're just going to use a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And I'm going to use this waxed linen thread. It's called Anacord. It says waxed Brazilian cord. And I'm going to start from the back signature, which is this one. I still have it clipped together here. And I'm going to use about, I think it's about, you need like 2.5 times the height of your signature, but I kind of go with 3 just to be safe. We'll just see how much it is. If we have too much left over, then I'll just go back down to 2.5. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I just got this from Hobby Lobby. And then I have a blunt needle with an eye large enough to let this pass through, this cord pass through. Okay, so we're going to start by going in through, from the inside through the middle hole. And we're going to make sure that we're going in the last row here in the middle hole. We're going to come out. We're going to leave a tail. And I'm just going to clip that to my signature clip here so it doesn't come out. Okay, then we're going to go up to, if you say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to go up to the second hole. We're going to go in through the second hole of the signature. Okay, I'm going to just pull that somewhat tight. Then we're going to go back out through the top hole, hole number 1. And make sure you're staying at that bottom row on your cover. And then we're going to go back through hole number 2 and through the signature. Making sure you don't split your thread. Pull that nice and tight. We're going to skip the middle signature, go down to the 4th signature, and through the 4th hole in your cover. And then we're going to go back through the 5th hole here. And the 5th hole of your signature. And go back through the 4th hole, back out the 4th hole, through the cover, and then back through the center. And we want to find the hole here. Okay, when we come back through, we want to come on, so this thread is on the left side. If I'm looking at it this way, on the left side of the middle thread, we're going to come on the opposite side. And then we want to tighten everything up. So I'm just going to hold this. I'm just going to make sure that everything is nice and tight. And then we're going to tie a square knot. So we're going to do right over left and left over right. And then we're going to snip those threads. Okay, there's our last signature. We can unclip those now. We're going to kind of give this a good bone fold here. And if any paper is kind of poking out there, just use your tip of your bone folder to push it back in. Okay. And I'm going to show you that one more time with the next one. Okay, and then I'll speed up the process. All right, we're going to get 3 times the length of the signature here. 1, 2, 3. And thread our needle. I'm going to start by going through the center hole. Now we're working on the second to last row here. And go through that center hole. And I'm going to clip the tail here of the signature. Now that we're on the outside, we're going to go up to the second hole, back through the signature, and then we're going to go out through the top hole of the cover, then we're going to go down back through the second hole, being careful not to split your thread. Skip the middle hole, down to the 4th hole, down to the bottom hole, back up through the 4th hole. And then back through the center hole. And we're going to come up on the opposite side of that center thread. And then we're going to tighten everything here. And then right over left, left over right. Unclip our signature. Give it a nice bone fold. Push in any paper that's puckering. And then we'll move on to the next signature, and I'm just going to speed everything up for you. Okay, our first section is done. It looks like this isn't going to be a problem with the gaps in between. We think we did the signatures thin enough that their gap isn't too big, and it's still very useful journal. So that's what it looks like. So the other signatures are going to lie in between here. So let's get started on that one. So this is going to be like this. So the signatures should lie. This is the last one here. Okay, so that's the last one. We just have to make sure that we're putting the orientation correctly. So I'm going to start with this one here. I'm just going to turn it upside down here so it's easier to work with, since it's normally that way. So 1, 2, 3. So just to see what I'm saying, so it's normally it's going to sit like this when it connects to the other one, and that's kind of awkward to bind it that way. So I'm just going to turn it this way so I can bind it easier. All right, I'm really excited to put these two together. They're both bound. So we're going to turn this one this way, and we're going to open the backs up, lock this one in, okay, so it's going to do this signature, it's going to be last, then this, then we're going to alternate them, okay. You find the opening. Okay, so then that one. This signature. This signature. This one. and then lock this one in. Look at that, so cool. Okay, look at that. Two journals in one. That is so cool. I'm so excited about it. Look, it worked. I'm just so excited that my experiment worked. So the next step is to do some embellishing on the inside. We know we made the tags and the journal cards and things like that. Decorate the pages a little bit. We can't do too much because this is already pretty thick. If we put too much in it, we might have to put in another like elastic closure just to keep this closed. And then the last step will be to decorate the covers. So, oh man, this is so cool. I'm so excited. Let me know what you think about it, and drop that in the comments below. And I'm just so excited, and thank you for coming on this journey with me with this idea. I'm just so excited to see it when it's finished. So have a great day, guys, and I will see you again soon in a couple days. All right, bye.